What's up, everybody? This is Real Talk Football, episode 26. The college football playoffs is ready. The brackets is ready. We got the NFL matchups. We got some big games that was just last week. Some even bigger games this week. The playoffs are starting to take shape. A lot of teams have been eliminated in the AFC, and we got some NFC teams still fighting to get in that 7th seed. So we'll see who will be in there for that upset. And oh yeah, we got that high school state championship recap to go over. This is Real Talk Football, baby. Let's go!
Let's go, Cowboys! Hey! Hey, let me get one. Hey! Let's fucking go! It's about that motherfucker. Y'all motherfuckers have me pissed off. I had to go get the motherfucker right.
What's going on, big dog?
Gang. What's good?
Chilling, my man. What's going on? How you been?
Chilling. It's starting to get a little cold out. I'm chilling. It's just getting a little cold out there. It's biting out there.
We had a little spring. We had a little spring weather the last couple of days, and it just froze up on us, huh? How you doing, though, bro? How was your thing? How was
being cold, bro? And that's exactly why everybody out here getting
right. How was your Thanksgiving? How was your week off and everything, man?
I was just resting these old bones, bro. You know I'm old out here in these streets, man. I'm out here resting these old bones.
Old now, all right. You throwing shots now,
bro. Ain't no better feeling than, bro. Pete, on Sunday, right? I got home. I watched a little bit. I passed out. Oh, that would happen after the games. Hold on. Ain't nothing better than that midday nap. For sure.
Funny as hell.
Oh my goodness.
All right, people.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for joining us, people, again, like y'all have been doing, and just joining in with us and supporting us. We appreciate all y'all, and we about to get our Saquon episode started here, episode 26. My guy, go ahead, do your thug fizzle.
But before we talk about Saquon, who's been taking over the league by storm, let's talk about this big thing. Bill Belichick to the North Carolina Tar Heels, and we ain't talking about basketball, baby. We talking about football. Right. I can't think of the last big name that then came out of there outside of what was the quarterback?
Mitch.
Damn, I can't even think his name.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky. Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah. What you think of this?
I think for sure. I think it's an indictment on Bill Belichick and how he not getting no looks to come to the NFL for next year, knowing it's going to be some jobs out there like the Bears, the Jets, possible Cowboys. Raiders, maybe if they let go at Antonio Pierce. I don't know if they should do that, but it's gonna be some jobs out here, and ain't nobody calling Bill up to say, hey, we want to bring you in for an interview when the playoffs start, because that's when they start doing all them interviews and everything when people fired at the end of the season. So, but my thing is, I don't see him succeeding here. I don't know about you. I know we're gonna hear your opinion in a minute. But you got a 5-year deal with UNC, and he said he's all in. And then he had a press conference that his first words was beat Duke. All right, you putting a lot on it, my guy. Putting way too much on it now. But how is Bill going to recruit? How is he going to relate to kids when his players in the NFL he couldn't relate to, or he couldn't talk to and all that, and players didn't even want to play for him during that COVID year when you had a chance to opt out and all that? How are you going to relate to kids and come in their living room and talk to their parents? I hope that kids don't get the false hope on the 6 Super Bowl rings and that success that he had to say, all right, he has 6 Super Bowls. He gonna get us to the league. You know what I mean? But like, let's talk about everybody calls him the GOAT because of those rings, right? But who did he have for those rings? He had the GOAT. He had Tom Brady, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
I gotta hit you with the stats, and I'm gonna let you rock out. I want to get your opinion on everything, man. When he had Brady, he was 249 and 70 and 75. That's a 76% game winning percentage, right? Without Brady, you 83 and 104. Without Brady, that's 44% winning percentage. And then even before that, before you became the head coach of the Patriots, you had 5 seasons with the Browns with 1 winning season. So without Tom, basically you ain't ish. How you gonna recruit a quarterback and coach a quarterback, get the right people to coach up that quarterback for him to
Right.
succeed and win in the ACC and win in college, recruit with all this NIL deal? I just don't see it happening for him. And like, I don't see where he can succeed here, knowing his social skills when he up there at the press conferences at the NFL and all that. How you gonna talk to these 18-year-old kids now? What's your thoughts on it, bro? Because I think this is it's telling about what people have been talking about Bill and how he coaches and his record, obviously after Tom. And
I agree with everything you said, but I want to add two different perspectives of what maybe made him do this change. One, maybe this time off made him bring himself back into a reality check. You know, him having that bad rep out there between players, organizations, everybody speaking bad about him in the NFL world, and seeing that the doors ain't as open as he thought it would be. I mean, your name and your ability and your coaching style might not rub every team and organization the right way. So maybe he took a step back, like, you know what? Now that I'm out of my own world of bubble of where I've been stuck into, and I take a step back and I'm seeing what's going on, and I'm hearing everything that's going on, and I can reflect on things. And now he got some self-awareness. Maybe that's one. And the other thing is too, my girlfriend like 23 years old, so I could think I kind of relate to this.
I knew you was gonna say something because I didn't say it. I wasn't gonna go there, but I knew you was gonna say something, bro.
I got a shorty out here. You mean she can show me about a TikTok. I don't know. You mean I'm learning these things. I had some time off. Now I'm kind of learning. I'm feeling young again. So let me go to the college realm and try to do my thing. And granted, like I said, when you see him on the Manning cast, he has more personality. So he might bring that to the table, but it's hard doing that stuff. And I don't know how this NIL money stuff works because of how the boosters, because if it's North Carolina basketball, the money ain't a problem, but I don't know how that turns out into a football thing. I was talking to some people and thinking about how that works today. I don't know how that works though, but I know if it's Bill, people are going to definitely put the bread up for him because it's Bill, but
and
you still got to get the players there.
Alumni and all that. The money going to come. It's going to be there.
Right. So now it's just it's hard at you getting out here and trying to go up against these coaches who've already been there, these powerhouse schools who've already been there, and you're just now getting your feet wet and trying to learn all this stuff, a whole new world of football. Well, football, of course, but this is the NFL. This ain't college. This is different. But I think he might be able to get away with his hard-nosed ways in college because it's college. Because you used to see Nick Saban getting people's ass all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think
why he left.
Yeah. Because it's a bidding war for these players now. So maybe who knows? We'll see how this turns out. I'm interested in seeing it. They're still ACC, right?
Yes, sir. Okay,
yeah. I mean, he'll be going up against Dabo. He'll be going up against Dabo and Syracuse.
Depending what the schedule look like next year.
Right. Yeah, and they might change that stuff around too. Who knows how that's going to go? It's definitely a thing where, and not even just that. Now he's going to win in the ACC where some of the competition is gone. Florida State is trash. I think they left too.
Right.
They've been stinking it up. So they might give him brownie points from going in and winning it at UNC. You never know how that goes now. Just because it's Bill, they're going to overhype him.
He signed a 5-year contract. He also signed a contract because he got his son to be the successor when he leaves. Do you see him staying the full 5 years, the contract?
His son, who was the linebacker coach?
Yeah, he was his son, who was the linebacker coach and the defensive coordinator at
Oh,
with New England his last
right,
couple of years, I should say.
right,
So
right,
now
right,
his
right.
son,
Yeah, he might not
gonna
see it
be,
out. Yeah,
yeah. I don't see it
he
happening.
might start to take a little bit of the he might start to take a little bit to the back seat and let him start to take over around, or he might let his son do the dirty work as far as going out there recruiting and doing all this young things too. So boom, look at it. He got the young shorty, he got his son. He's like, I got some youth around me to show me the way.
His son ain't getting no recruiting, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Listen, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. I'm not sure. We really don't know what to expect in this. But it's definitely going to be interesting, though.
I'm going to trust the opinion of the players who played for him and what Bill has shown us over the years with the media and how he talks and how he interacts with people. I just can't see it, especially with 18 to 21-year-olds. I don't see it.
Like I said, sometimes he went to some therapy. He had time. He had time on his hands, man. That's the only thing I can roll with. That time away. Sometimes self-reflecting. He probably went and did some yoga and everything. Who knows?
All right, here we go, man. Moving on to the next topic. We got trouble in what they call paradise, but we're gonna call it Philadice, the Eagles. You know what I mean? We got some trouble. I know you done seen it by now. It's Thursday. There's a lot that happened today with them both, with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts coming out and say we good now. It took y'all 4 days to do that. And if y'all didn't see it, it wasn't like it was a controversial thing. They asked AJ Brown a question about what do you think's going on with the offense. He said passing. It's not like he said Jalen Hurts or anything. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the whole situation with the way AJ handled it at the end of the game, the way Jalen handled it at the end of the game, and then put in the mix their own teammate who's no longer playing because he's hurt, had spoke his 2 cents in it. Where do you think Philly goes from here, especially with this big game coming up with the Steelers this weekend?
I think AJ was just being AJ. He bit his tongue last year too, and then disappeared on the team going into the playoffs. It's messy, and it only got worse when Brandon Graham spoke out. And I'm actually shocked that Brandon Graham did speak out and say what he said, because I listen to 94.1 often when he's on there, even throughout everything that was going on last year when it was when they were 10-1 and started losing. Every week he would still show up, be super supportive, be super optimistic about the team. Like, hey man, listen, our guys is working, we're doing these things. And he would just say super positive things, even though he knew the house was on fire. He like, listen, guys, listen, we just need a little bit more water in there. We'll be all right. And he just, every week they were losing. Once the season started to collapse last year, every week he would come and be positive. And then he just came out here and just shot it straight like that. Like, listen, man. And then he tried to walk it back like, oh, I wasn't informed. Bro, you know what's going on. You've been in this locker room for years, since AJ been here.
Been in there for 15 years.
You said what it was. You missed. Right. You know what's going on in the locker room more than anybody else. You was just in the wrong for how you handled it, and why you said it. I have no idea. That's just beyond me. Right. But at the end of the day, I hope that they're able to bring everybody in and put it and bring it together, because they're winning this way. Now they're winning this way. Will it happen? Will they be able to get away with winning like that in the playoffs? We don't know yet. We have yet to know. But I think what AJ is talking about, I think the problem is right now is you got so many fans like, oh, why are you messing about the team? We're winning like this. It's like, but if you see these other teams like your Vikings and your Lions who have these high-powered offenses, they're balanced, where they're still able to run the ball effectively and still able to pass the ball. And Jalen Hurts, he's had one 300-yard passing game, and that was against the Saints. And honestly, it was a 311 yards, and 61 of those yards came from a pick route that should have been a offensive pass interference when Dallas Goedert ran wide open and ran for 61 yards. Right. So he ain't been passing the ball around the field, and it's you see both ways of it. It's like, yes, we want to win this way, and this is working, and that's fine and dandy. But also, if I'm AJ Brown, come contract time, they might help, bro. Look at your stats, man.
All right.
Look at your
Well,
stats, bro. I mean,
AJ already got paid, and if you look at it, the first 2 years AJ was there, he had over 1,400 yards both seasons. He had over 100 catches. He had over 100 catches last year. But like I mentioned before, either last show or a couple shows ago, they was throwing the ball 37 times a game before the bye week, and now they're only throwing the ball 22 times a game, right? But going back to what AJ said, I don't think he said anything wrong.
And no, he didn't. He wasn't wrong.
This has been who Jalen has been all season. If you're a real football fan and you watch the game, whether you watch your favorite team or you watching another team and you watch another game, but in this case, the Eagles, if you are watching the game, AJ Brown is running butt booty naked wide open, and you ain't throwing the ball. Slant routes, 5-yard ends, posts, whatever. He's wide open. First couple drives, he had that slant. He was open, didn't throw it. He had the in route. He was open. And then when you got down to the goal line, A.J. Brown ran another slant, wide open. You ain't hit him. And then you waited to throw the ball. Even though you scored a touchdown, you waited to throw the ball to Devontae Smith, who was covered. Luckily, Devontae Smith, of who he is, he caught the ball touchdown. But you had A.J. Brown wide open, which the play was probably for him. But my thing is, listen, everyone has a job, right? When the old lineman miss a block, they get called out, right?
Yeah.
Running back fumble the ball or miss a blocking assignment, he gets called out, right?
Yeah.
Wide receiver, he dropped the ball or run the wrong route, he gets called out, right? Just like Aaron Rodgers called out Mike Williams for not running on the red line. Everybody want to call out everybody, but soon as anybody calls out Jalen Hurts for not doing his job, which is reading the defense correctly, I don't know if you saw the post. Oh, if Jalen Hurts wasn't on the team, will we even be this successful? Like everybody want to talk about him and what he's doing wrong and blah 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 blah. Are y'all watching the game? He's the reason why the offense is not scoring 30 some odd points a game. It should be just blowing people out and making it even easier for Saquon Barkley because the pass game is working. Look at the last 3 games. Look at the last 3 games. Jalen Hurts, 14 of 21, 108 yards. 11 of 19, 118 yards. 15 of 22, 179 yards. Y'all are not beating any teams in the playoffs only throwing for 100 yards.
Right.
It's just not going to be, it's just not setting up for success. And now you're coming up against the Steelers who have a pass rush, and it's going to get to you quickly. You're going to have to get that ball out your hand this weekend. It's going to give you a challenge. How are you going to play against that? That's another playoff team that's on the AFC who could make the Super Bowl. Y'all could make the Super Bowl, have a Pennsylvania Super Bowl, and then, you know what I mean, and see how they playing. So I'm concerned of where Jalen is. I'm looking forward to seeing this game this weekend about him. But another thing about Jalen, one last thing I want to get your opinion on it. Why did it take him until today to take full accountability for his play? Because on Sunday, it was you answered no, or next question, or I just answered no. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't say on Sunday, like, I got to read the defense better. I got to get the ball to AJ. He's open. We're going to watch the film. Now, it took you till today to say, my bad, I got to play better. You know what I mean? Why did it take you 4 days to do that? Because you heard all the criticism? What are your thoughts on that?
In his mind, when it first happened, I was asking him, he was probably thinking to himself, like, we winning. Why are you being a dickhead? And that's just really what it is. We winning. Why you bitching? Okay. But still, at the end of the day, you're not getting him the ball. We don't know what it is. And honestly, to add to everything you said, talking about like going to Pittsburgh and everything like that, I think another problem is not even just the offense. Defensively, no, I'm sorry, it's still offense. You starting out that slow come playoff time, You will find yourself out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Because you want to run the ball, you want to control the line of scrimmage. You start out slow against the Vikings and a Lions team who starts out fast and they score fast and they got big play guys.
Right.
You start out 14-0, you're not running. Kellen Moore is not calling run plays.
No, he is not.
He's gonna make you throw around.
He's gonna feel that pressure and think he got to score right now, and he's gonna be throwing the ball.
And then those two teams right there, they're well coached on defense, and they're gonna come right after you, Jalen. So if you think you about to sit back there and chill, and they're gonna stay in coverage, no, my brother, they're gonna come get you.
Right.
So that's another thing.
This is who Jalen is. Even during his MVP season, what did he have? Like 20-something touchdowns that he thrown. He's only got 16 thrown TD passes this year. He hasn't thrown over 23 or 24 touchdowns in his career in a season. So, like, this is who he is. So let's see if he improves after this game, after all this drama.
Man, listen, if anybody should be mad at that man, it's Saquon Barkley, because Saquon then got tackled at the 1, and instead of them giving him the ball at the 1, them niggas, they did the tush push, the hump and pump, and gave Jalen them rushing touchdowns.
Hump and pump is crazy. Super crazy.
The hump and the pump. That's what they get. The hump and the pump.
You're wild for that.
Yeah, if anybody should be mad, it should be Saquon. Like, bro, you messing up my scoring touchdowns. I got the yards, but the touchdowns is there too.
Right.
For sure. Oh my goodness. But we'll see how they do against the Steelers, though. But yeah. So it's on to some college football. Like we said, the playoff bracket is officially lined up and set. Oh my goodness, we're so happy. Let's clap it up. Bama didn't make it. Bama did not make it.
Get Bama out of here. Get him out of here.
Get them bums out of here.
They out here complaining. They out here complaining, but y'all the ones who lost. We're not trying to hear that. We're not
exactly. And Saban, stay on the stands where you've been at on your thing. You can complain all you want there, because you I ain't gonna lie to you though. They might have pushed them through if Saban was the coach.
Oh, probably, yeah, for sure. But not
if
they lost like they lost Oklahoma. I don't. If they would have beat Oklahoma, they would have been in. But since they lost the way they lost Oklahoma, that's why they out.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Well, we got the first round matchups. We got Clemson versus Texas. How you feel about that game?
I was looking at everything. I got the spreads down. 11.5 point favorites for Texas. Not the way they play. 11.5 right now. 11.5 right now. I expect it to be a little bit. If anybody's a betting person, you take them points right now.
I'm a better, but I'm taking the over though.
Take the points right now with Clemson right now, and I'm even picking Clemson to beat them outright because of the way Quinn Ewers is playing. They not winning with the way he playing. He cut the check last week against Georgia. Yeah. So I got Clemson in that game.
All right, Tennessee, Ohio State.
That spread right now is a 7.5. Ohio State are favorites in that game, and the way, listen, I don't bang with Ryan Day, so as much as I want them boys to succeed over there, especially with Smith and Ibuka and the young boy Ennis from Florida and all that, I'm picking SEC. I'm going Tennessee to beat them.
Oh my goodness!
In the shoe.
You're on a tear.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see here. Penn State, SMU.
Yeah, 8.5 point favorites right now. Penn State. I would take the points with SMU. SMU gonna keep it close and maybe beat them, because I think this should be a night game because they're having a whiteout game. This should be if you're going to do a whiteout. Everybody knows you can only do a whiteout game when it's nighttime. That's the only way is jumping in there at night. So I think this game is close, but Penn State wins a close one with their physical defense at home.
I'm taking the over on that one too. I see points being scored there. All right, last one, Indiana, Notre Dame.
I'm a little surprised by the spread here. I thought this spread was going to be at least up there with like how Texas is 11.5 point favorites. Only 7.5 point favorites is Notre
Indiana
Dame.
Play that defense.
Yeah, but I think Notre Dame going to blow them out just like Ohio State blew Indiana out. And Notre Dame up front they got the big boys on front on both sides of the ball, and we know football is won in the trenches. And then you got Julian Love, who is a fantastic running back. He's going to be a steal in the league when he gets there.
Oh, bless you, sir.
Appreciate it. Julian Love is going to have a field day against Indiana, in my opinion, and I think they blow Indiana out by at least 14 points.
Ooh, 14. Ooh, they might.
Yeah.
They definitely might. Yeah. Well, I don't want to go too far into of this bracket, only because we don't know how it's going to shape out. I just wanted to cover those 4 games.
Right.
But I mean, overall, who do you have winning it though?
I don't know just yet. After these first round games next week, I will be able to tell you. And it also depends on me how Carson Beck is coming back. Right now, earlier I looked it up. There's still no timetable. He's still rehabbing. He has an elbow. It's an elbow injury. Everybody thought it was a shoulder, but it's the elbow. There's no timetable right now. Him and the kicker, who also got hurt, Kirby Smart, said hopefully they'll be back after the bye week and hit their rehab hard right now, but it's undetermined when both of those guys will be back.
At least they get the bye. Yeah,
at least they get the bye to get some extra rest. You know what I mean? So I don't know right now. This sneaky team I want to watch, though, even though I know they're gonna go get some big boys. They play a bend but don't break defense, and they got that man Cam Scatterboo, Arizona State, man. I'm not afraid. I don't think Arizona should be afraid of Clemson or Texas, especially the way Texas is playing right now. So I think they can win their game after the bye. And then you got either Tennessee or Ohio State versus Oregon. That's going to be a good matchup either way. And then you got the SMU Penn State versus either Boise State. I also think, even though people are like, I don't want to see Boise State, but if you look at it, Boise State lost to the number 1 team in the nation by 3 points the first game of the year, and Ashton Genty ran for over 200 yards against them and 3 touchdowns. So people may not think they had the boys up front. Oh, but they do. They got the big boys up front on both sides. They play good defense. I know they played in the Mountain West, but they do play good defense. And like I said, they got Ashton Genty, Heisman finalist, who we'll get to next. I think Boise can be either team too if they play good defense. Now, with Penn State, Penn State might be able to shut that run game down because they are built to stop the run game. So Boise may be in trouble if Penn State advances. Notre Dame, I know we say they choke, but they are a very well coached team and good team this year. I'm going to give the credit where the credit is due. You know, I don't like Notre Dame, but they are playing very good football right now. And I think they could beat Georgia just because they put up points. And Carson Beck, you don't know which one's going to show up. And if the backup, who only passed for 71 yards last week, is playing, they going to shut him down. And I think Notre Dame will advance to the semifinal before the final game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be a big jump for them for sure.
Yeah.
Only thing I want to add to what you were saying is I think they need to change the first round seedings for the buys. They definitely got to change that. Like just make your seedings and then give the top 4 teams that bye. Don't be doing this conference stuff, bro. That's tacky as hell.
Right.
Super tacky. I don't like that at all.
I
believe
you can still give the conference, the top 4 conferences some. I don't think Boise State should have got the bye.
Right.
Because they're in the Mountain West. They're not the Power 5, Power 4 teams, or however they want to say it, however they want to do it. You should have put who do you think should have got in there? Maybe Texas or Clemson, because they won the ACC. I think they should have gotten there.
But they just got in there by the skin of their teeth, though.
Yeah, they're not a top 14 because they just got in. So who would you take out of ASU and Boise State?
Let's put it like this. We already talked about how we thought that Penn State should have got the 5th seed. So I think Penn State should have got that bye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Penn State and Texas should have swapped it out. We talked about this. We said Penn State should have got the 5th seed. So if they would have got the 5th, I think they should have ended up with the bye.
So you think Texas should be playing SMU and Boise should be playing Clemson?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. For sure. Mm-hmm.
Got you.
But I'm excited about this, though. I'm actually happy that I'm liking 12. I like 12 a lot.
Right.
This is really good. We get to see the top dogs against the top dogs. But like I said, once they get this whole bye week thing right, and then we'll be good from there. Because to be honest with you, Oregon's path is tougher.
Yeah, it is. And
and it's not right.
The easy part. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So that's where that's why I say it's all messed up, because they should not be having to go up against potentially Ohio State or Texas, and then Arizona State. Yeah.
It should be flipped. Oregon and Boise. Boise should be up higher, and Oregon should be down.
Exactly.
And then UGA up where ASU is, and come down that way, and flip the higher seeds where they need to be, the 12-5 and 11-6 and all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. With you. But I'm definitely ready. To start next weekend, right? Next weekend. Next Friday. You got Penn State. And then you got Indiana and Notre Dame playing next week too. All right, my guy, listen up. Speaking of college football, we got one of the biggest weekend. We got the Heisman Trophy finalists in the Heisman Trophy celebration this weekend. Our finalists are Travis Hunter out of Colorado, Ashton Jeanty out of Boise State, Dylan Gabriel out of Oregon, and then Cam Ward out of Miami. If I think everybody knows who Travis Hunter is and who Ashton Jeanty is, we'll come back to them. But Dylan Gabriel, quarterback for Oregon this year, threw for over 3,500 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Cam Ward brought Miami back this year after a couple down years down in South Beach. 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. We basically know they just there for show, them two. Mm-hmm. They didn't really, if you look back, everybody knows this is a quarterback award, just like the MVP in the NFL. They really didn't have the usual runaway quarterback stats to win the Heisman Trophy. So that's why they don't have, usually the quarterbacks got 40, 45, 50 touchdowns, throws for 5,000 yards, and that's easy money. We know you're going to win it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But you got Travis Hunter, who played both ways. Unbelievable. You never, as he said it himself, you never seen a player like him. Yes, Charles Chuck Woodson did it back in Michigan in 1996, but he barely played offense. He was a corner 98% of the time, and then he had a little package on offense. But Travis Hunter's stats: 92 receptions, over 1,100 yards receiving with 14 touchdowns. He had 22 tackles and 4 interceptions. And then you have Ashton Jeanty on pace to break Barry Sanders' record right now. 344 carries, 2,497 yards, 29 touchdowns at 7.3 yards a carry. He has more yards than a lot of players and even teams in yards after contact. He has over 1,700 yards after contact this season, which is insane, my brother. Who is your favorite to win, but doesn't mean you think that person's going to win? So who you got winning and who you think should win this weekend?
Well, you know who I like, my guy Cam Ward, but I know he's not going to win it though. You're not going to win it, but he will be the first quarterback off the board in the draft.
Right, that's another discussion. Throwing
that out there, my guy. I'm at bat. Everybody want to hype Shador. I just listen. You know what I mean? But man, it's a toss up between Shador and Hunter and Jeanty. Like I said last week, they need to just split it, bro. Listen, bro, you can split it because they both just as valuable, and they brought different pieces of valuable to both teams, though. Mm-hmm. Neither one of those teams is winning games without either one of them. I mean, granted, Colorado had a chance to be in the playoffs, and they knew how to tackle it for one game. The next thing you know, they're in the playoffs, but that's not what happened. So I think that both players add so much value to each team. It's hard for me to sit here, and you can argue both sides of it though. So that's what makes it hard for me to sit here and be like, oh well, Genty should get it because of his rushing yards. But technically, his rushing yards is crazy. But there's been other running backs who've had better rushing yards and still didn't get the Heisman.
Right.
You know. So then you go, oh, Hunter should get it because what he's been doing on offense and defense. But technically, he ain't leading the NCAA in neither one of those stats. So, but they're both super valuable on both teams. So it's hard for you to sit there and judge who should, could, and would. Like I said, I think Genty would get the edge due to he carried his team to the playoffs. Right. Flat out.
Gotcha. I'm going to tell you who going to win it, and I'm going to tell you why he going to win it, and then I'm going to tell you who everybody wants to win it, and I'm going to tell you why he not going to win it, and which is sad. It's a sad reason why he's not going to win it when he should, because we know why. I'm going with Ashton Genty for the simple fact of 20. He's almost got 2,500 yards.
Right.
He carried his team to the playoffs and a first round bye. Yep. Right. That's why I believe he's going to win it. And I also think, I think he's going to break the record regardless of who he playing. Even if he playing Penn State, I think all he needs is one run, and then it's wide open for him.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to break that record, and that's going. Even though it doesn't matter because he's about the celebrations this weekend. The Heisman Trophy. It will be person's going to win it this weekend.
Right.
Travis Hunter should win it.
I'm sorry to cut you off. As you're saying that, Travis Hunter just won Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, good money for him. Proud of him because, like I said, like I'm about to say, I'm gonna tell you the reason why he's not gonna win it. The reason why Travis Hunter is not gonna win the Heisman when he should win the Heisman is because of Deion Sanders. Every coach, no. You know I love Prime.
Yeah,
Prime
for sure. Me too.
Prime played for us.
Right.
I love Prime. I love what he's done with Colorado. I love what he did with Jackson State. He's been a success everywhere, even in high school too. The reason why he is not going to win it, and it's not Hunter's fault, it's because people don't like Deion. People don't like how outspoken he is, how he speaks the truth and says what he says, and he says with it, he stands 10 toes down on it, or for his case, 8 toes down on it. But I don't think people like how outspoken he is and tell how it is. Like he came here, I got the Louis bag, whatever, he hit the transfer portal, all that stuff. They also don't like how he relates to kids. So they've been hating on this man since he got to Colorado. They was picked to finish 12 out of 16 in the Big 12. They finished third. They got 9 wins, improved by 5 wins from 5 more wins than last year. They go into a bowl game, and that's why I think people ain't going to vote for Travis Hunter is because of that reason alone, which stinks for Trav. We all know Trav going to ball in NFL. Hopefully he have a successful career in NFL. He had a successful college career, and he showed what he can do. He's an unbelievable player. All these guys is an unbelievable players. I even think Cam Scatterboo should have got an invite just because he's been balling all year too. But all these kids are great. But Travis Hunter should win it. But I think Ashton Genty is going to get it. Credit that to my cousin, Philly KG, Keith Garland, who we talked about it. He talked about how the people hate Deion and how outspoken he was. And he made a lot of sense doing that. So give him credit for that, what we just talked about there.
Right. And I think that they're just going to give him once again, you just see Travis Hunter won Defensive Player of the Year, Shador won Offensive Player of the Year. That goes their awards right there, and then Genty will just get Heisman.
Right.
And that's just really what it comes down to. And like I said, he carried his team to the playoffs.
Yes, sir.
It's all straight down there. But we'll see. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. But yeah, man, time for the High school states recap. Oh my goodness. Well, every game played, all three games played out like I said it was going to happen. Bonner was going to blow that team out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what they did. They blew out Lampeter Strasburg 40-14. Walk in the park. The running back, Mikael Sanders, ran for 117 yards. Jalil Hall, the West Virginia commit, had 65 yards receiving. They just did whatever they wanted to do. Like I said, they was going to do. Bonner is a good 4A high school team who has some 5A and 6A talent on their team, and they're going to have it next year too. So I think the only team that might give them a run for their money, but they don't have the personnel to match up against them is PJP again.
Right.
Until I see another team who can go up against them, because the quarterback's going to be back there next year. Even though Jalil Hall's going to be gone, they still have other kids up and coming on that team. And then them winning is going to get other kids that's going to want to come there. It's pretty plain and simple there for them. Congratulations to Bonner. I've been watching them all year. Like I said, they got a lot of talent. Really good. Really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save that game for last. 6A championship. Prep did what we said they were going to. Well, what I said they was going to do. They blew 35-6 over Central Catholic. They got up on them and just kind of. And I honestly feel like they just coasted because they was up. They was up around that number at halftime too. I think they was all right. Sure. We just going. We see. Yeah.
They wanted to know. They wanted to put a 50 ball on them boys.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it was. I think they really got up and just started playing around. I already knew after I watched Central Catholic. That's why I wanted Harrisburg to win that game against Central Catholic, because Harrisburg brings a different dynamic to their offense, where Central Catholic is strictly run the ball, play defense. That's just really what it is. But Harrisburg, you got two running backs, and then you got the kid Makai Mackin, who's a really, really dog. He's a dog. He's my favorite player, high school wise, that I've seen this year. And they have a spread offense. They'll spread you out. They can run the ball. They got receivers who they can throw the ball to in Harrisburg. I'm just keep bringing that up because they mess around and get there next year, because they don't have a bunch of seniors. So I like them a lot. I'm definitely going to go see them play next year. But yeah, prep.
Hold on, before you go to the 5A, can you talk about that young man, Cayenne Billups, bro?
Cayenne, class 2026.
He is a freaking baller, bro.
Listen, I once I saw the first game, I said, and mind you, in the first game I saw against them, that was against LaSalle, and I'm like, he's trying to hit that hole, but LaSalle had a really good defense, so he couldn't break one off. Anytime he was about to, they got him, and the next year I said, okay, this dude,
that young boy is shifty. He don't need much space.
Yep, and he's hitting you. And what I love about with him is he's hitting you with one move. He's hitting you with one move and then taking off. And then he's going from there. He ain't dancing. Nah, and I'm going. And that's exactly what he was doing. And then they have a stout offensive line. Shout out to the young boy Khalil Stewart from Norristown. Going to Syracuse, committed to Syracuse. Guard, he was a dog, one of the best offensive linemen in the state, bro. Right. So yeah, he was definitely running behind some dogs.
And don't Cayenne because of his size. He do load the shoulder and rolling over people.
Yeah. Too. Yep. And he's hitting you and bouncing off of guys and still rolling. He keeps his legs moving too. Once again, he's class 2026. So he's going to be running for a very long time. Right. He's going to be running for a very long time.
See him for 2 more years.
Yes, bro. Dude is a dog. And then give credit to the St. Joe's Prep defense. Once again, like I said, those 2 linebackers that they had there that was going to Penn State, I already knew it was going to just shut things down. They was going to send them in, and it was just going to be over from there. And that's exactly what it was. So there really ain't too much to talk about it because we already knew what it was. But the big game, though, the big game. Oh my goodness,
a heartbreaker though.
Bishop McDevitt 34, Roman Catholic 31 in overtime, bro. This game was super duper tough, man, because Roman started out sloppy, and then once they finally got it together, they still was doing things that messed them up between penalties and different things like that, just out of sync. And then once they started getting it going, that's when you started to see their threat as the receivers. But with Samaj, Anstead and Rashawn Scott and everybody. I think and it's crazy because the semifinals game, Rashawn Scott had a bad game. He had an off game. Anstead took over, and then this game Scott came to play, and then Ian just was off. He was missing tackles. He had a couple big drops. He had a really big drop in the game where it couldn't even went to overtime. He could have scored and had an open field and had to drop. And I'm just, oh my God, bro, we can't get this right. Cannot get this right. But I gotta give credit to Bishop McDevitt because, like I told you, I told you the stats of those kids on that team, man.
Yeah.
And then the kid, Nazir Jones Davis, the running back, who I like, he's really good, power back, who got speed. 124. He rushed 124 and had a touchdown. And then the sophomore wide receiver, bro, he's going to be a dog. Jonte Quick, 6 catches, 129 yards.
Wow.
This kid is legit, bro. The kid is he's super tough. I think you might mess around and see them play again next year. And I'll look because you have Samaj back.
We're gonna be in the building.
Oh my goodness, bro. So this game was a shootout, and then it just came down to the end and went to OT. Samaj tried to take off on a run, either cramped up or got hurt. I'm not sure which one it was. And they put in a quarterback. They tried to run a zone read. They shut that down. By the time the third down came, he ran an out route, and I told you it looked like it was PI, but it wasn't PI. Dudes got their legs picked up.
I think it was. I remember you showing it to me. It was definitely incidental contact. If you look at it, they both was looking back for the ball, and then they just fell.
Corner route, yeah. And then he definitely fell, and then the kicker just missed the damn field goal, bro. Yeah. Then it was just too easy for McDevitt right there. Yeah. So I really hope to see. I would like to see that rematch of that game right there.
Yeah,
definitely a rematch of that game. Shout out to Ricky Preet once again from town. Oh man, high school's over. So now it's the seniors is out of here. Next up, kids, and so
coming in, who leaving, who coming in.
And so we're definitely planning on having a whole breakdown of next up kids for next year for sure.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to everybody who won the state championship game at 4A, 5A, and 6A. Next year, another good season for y'all to prepare. Listen, get your bodies right. Take a week off, maybe 2 weeks. Get your body, make sure you feel good, and get right back in that weight room. Start putting that work next year, fellas, because ain't nobody waiting around for you to start working out. And if you playing another sport, you playing basketball, good luck in basketball and all that, or track or winter track and all that, fellas.
For sure.
All right, my man. Listen up, man. We got the AFC and NFC. Who do you think is going to lock up that last seed for both sides? Right now, knowing all these teams got 4 more games left before we start the playoffs, who are your favorites to get that last seed in the AFC and the NFC?
So I'll start with the NFC, and I think that it's going to be the Buccaneers to lock it up. And not only will they lock it up, yes, the 7th seed.
The 7th seed for the Buccaneers. Yeah. Right now, they got the 4 seed.
You said they got the 4 seed. What? Hold on.
They went in the division.
Hold on. Oh, you know what? I looked at it wrong. My fault.
That's why I gave you that crazy face.
Hold up. You know what? You're right. I did do it wrong.
Yeah. What you looking at, brother?
Well, hold on. Oh, I'm gonna tell you why I did that. Because I said the dude need to get benched. I think that the Falcons can still pull out and win the division. Listen. This is why. All right. Listen, hear me out. Okay. This is the Buccaneers' last games.
My people who
the
are
Chargers.
On Instagram, I think this man has been drinking, so don't mind him with this Atlanta Falcons pick, please.
I'm been drinking water. They got the Chargers. They got the Cowboys.
Who?
They got the Panthers, and then they got the Saints, the Buccaneers.
Okay.
That's the last games. Okay. So then you go to Atlanta, right? They got the Raiders. They got the Giants. They got the Commanders, and then they got the Panthers. Who got the tougher schedule at the end?
The Bucks do, but look at how the Bucks been playing. They've been in every game,
I
winning games. Atlanta hasn't won in a month, and your boy hasn't thrown a touchdown in a month. He's been throwing nothing but interceptions the last month. Zero.
I might mess around and lose my fantasy league because of that too. But that ain't the point.
8 interceptions, and we talking about them winning the division. And
listen, man.
And we know the Bucks got the better quarterback and the better defense. Come on, man. We're not doing this.
Today's date. It's December 12th.
So you saying the Falcons in the NFC?
I said they still got a chance because of the way their schedule is at the end. The Bucks are playing better. And that's why I said there. That's why I was about to go with them getting the 7th seed and mess around and upsetting somebody.
You done? Can I say my 7th seed for the NFC?
Yeah, go ahead. Do you think?
This man right here. So right now, right now, the Washington Commanders have the 7th seed. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what they're doing right now in this rain. They need to get themselves together and get in the end zone because I got the Rams making 7th seed. I also had the Rams at the beginning of the year winning this division. So they need to get themselves together. Right now, they're not playing well. They're not moving this ball. I know what's going on if it's the weather or not. They're at the 50 right now. But I got the Rams making the 7th seed. They are just hot right now. They're healthy. They're running the ball. They're running the ball real well. They're passing the ball real well with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford doing this thing. The offensive line is finally back healthy. Even with the young defense, they are playing well, even though last week they went up against Josh Allen and gave up the 42 points. I'm going to stick with the Rams with the NFC right now as the 7th seed.
Okay. Oh, look, I don't argue against that because of that offense, the way it is, it just comes down to the defense coming down to play and actually tackling.
And who if they get in, you better watch out. Upset alert if they get in. Whoever that 2 seed is.
Yeah, it's gonna be sort of pay.
Who you got for the AFC, brother?
Definitely. All right. My AFC team is they currently have the 7th seed, and I think they'll still uphold it. Is the Broncos. Granted, the schedule is low-key kind of tough towards the end because they got to finish out. The Colts comes to Denver, which they'll win that game. But then Denver goes to LA and plays the Chargers. Then they had to go to Cincinnati and play the Bengals. And the Bengals, they know they're out of it, but Burrow is still like, yo, I'm raising hell on everybody. It don't matter. My defense sucks. Me and Chase are going to go crazy on everybody. And then their last game, the Chiefs will come. Then again, it probably won't even matter for the Chiefs because the Chiefs will probably lock the AFC. So they'll probably sit their guys out. So they might end up going 2-2, and I think they'll still finish out with that 7th seed. They have one of the best defenses, number 1 in sacks. Bo Nix is playing really well, and Cortland Sutton has been balling with him. They've been more balanced too. Even though Bo Nix hasn't been running as much, he's been just sitting in the pocket and getting that ball out. They're coming off a bye week, and they're going to make a strong push towards the end of the season.
Right. I have the Broncos as well. I agree with everything you said. I just think and if you look at it and see who's eliminated and who's even behind them with the Dolphins, and they still got Cincinnati in the hunt. Those teams ain't winning nothing. They're going to lose down the stretch. So I think the Broncos, who are the better team on offense and defense, despite the Cincinnati Bengals wasting Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow this year because they're first in every category. Jamar Chase looks like he's about to win the Triple Crown this year at the receiver. I think the Broncos keep that 7th seed, and whoever is 2 seed, whether it's probably going to be the Bills or the Chiefs, depending on who wins and loses at the end. The Broncos can play defense. They're going to stop some people. So it all depends on how Bo Nix plays in the playoffs in that first round.
Yep, definitely does. Definitely does. Well, we'll see what happens. Like I told you, man, I still got a little bit of hope.
Yeah, that little bit of hope looks like a violin to me. I'm not playing it.
Whatever, man. Give me a picks, bro. So we can finish this
out. Man, so look. I got this matchup on there as well. because as we see, it's only 3-0. It's pouring down rain. It's a good game. I still believe, and I think they should, depending on what they're going to do with this drive and come in the second half. I still think the Rams should win this game. I'm also looking at the Texans and the Dolphins to see how the Texans play on defense without Aziz. First, they came off the bye week. It's the first game without him. How does the defense tighten up without Aziz, their captain on that defense and their middle linebacker? I'm still gonna pick the Texans to win that game because they are at home. Ravens versus the Giants. Who are the Ravens for real? This is why I want to watch this game. I'm not watching the game and not picking them because I know they're gonna win. I want to see the matchup to see what the Ravens going to do after their bye. You going to run the ball with Derrick Henry like you should. This should be your identity. Or you going to keep throwing the ball 35 to 40 times with Lamar and be struggling to come back to win and scoring points and struggling. And how is the defense going to get – the defense got right before the bye, so I expect them to come back and still do their thing. The game of the week, in my opinion, even though I think it's 2 games of the week, this one is my game of the week, the Bills and the Lions. Going to be a crazy game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, just like they just came off. I think the Bills come back from losing a heartbreaker and playing well again, but the Lions at home, man, they tough, brother. Lions at home, they play tough. If this game was in Buffalo, I would pick Buffalo because it's cold. Dome teams don't really play well outdoors. But that run game travels like the Lions have with Sonic and Knuckles over there with Gibbs and Montgomery. So I'm still going to go with the Lions to continue their winning ways. Looking forward to the Steelers and Eagles game too. I'm picking the Steelers. I'm picking the Steelers because I know they can stop the run, and they got Highsmith back, and they got Watt over there. Can the tackles hold up and block both of them? And if they can, the Eagles may win, but I'm going to pick the Steelers. And I'm looking forward to that Packers-Seahawks game too, to see if the Seahawks can really step up and play, because this is a playoff game. Packers, you haven't beat a playoff team either this year. And Seahawks, let's see how you play. So I'm actually going to pick the Seahawks because they play in Seattle.
Okay. Wait a minute. What was your upset pick?
We're going to do that after you do yours. We ain't going to do that yet. Go ahead, man.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I got 3 games for you. You covered a lot of games. So, my first game right now, I have the Niners beating the Rams only because I think the Niners they got Bosa back and they feel like they're still trying to keep some type of hope alive. Once I told you a couple of weeks ago, they're done because their schedule is super tough.
Yeah.
That's my first game. My second game, I have the Lions over the Bills due to, the Lions playing at home and that offense. And another thing that's going on, which I don't understand, is they haven't been featuring Jared Cook as much recently. Why?
Who?
I do not know.
Who?
Cook.
James Cook, you mean for the Bills?
James Cook, my bad. What I say, Derek? What I say, Jared Cook, my bad. James Cook. That's James Cook, my fault. James Cook. They haven't been featuring him as much outside of when they beat San Fran and he ran for a big 65-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at these stats. Since November 3rd, 10 carries, 44 yards, 19 carries, 80 yards, 9 carries, 20 yards, 14 carries, 107. Like I said, he broke for that 65-yarder when they just lost to the Rams, in which the game was close in the beginning. He got 6 carries for 20 yards, bro.
Yeah.
Why he ain't getting the ball more? I don't know. We talked about this before about them being more balanced and him getting the ball more, and he's in great shape. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I told you our last episode before Thanksgiving, he just came back from an injury.
So he's just banged up.
Probably still nursing that injury. I mean, it's no excuse because you were featuring him in the beginning of the year before he got hurt. I don't know what percentage he is at right now, so I think they need to rely on him more than relying on Josh to run the ball. So they need to feed him a little bit more. So I agree with you.
Andrew, he's still playing. Do something. Give him. Come on, bro. This is crazy out here. But that's what I got for that one.
Who'd you pick? You picking the Bills, you said?
Not a Lions. No. Lions. If it was at Buffalo, like I said, yeah, like you said, yeah. Other game I got, once again, was kind of pushed to my point. I got the Chargers beating the Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So that defense will make it a little bit harder for Baker. And yeah, like I said, the Falcons are my little bit of hope right there.
Yeah. I think
those are my 3 games. I don't want to cover the other games. I don't know what's going to happen with that.
I'm a little scared for the Chargers right now, even though their defense is playing well. Ever since J.K. Dobbins got hurt, that run game has not looked well. Ladd McConkey was out last week against the Chiefs. I think they would have won that game for sure if he was playing. The offense didn't look right without him. So they need to get healthy for the Chargers to even think about making any noise in the playoffs right now without J.K. Dobbins and Ladd. Without them two, they're not doing much on offense. Want me to do my upset real quick?
Right.
My upset pick
go get
is towards your team, who you think gonna get that 7th pick. I'm picking Aiden O'Connell and them boys Raiders to beat the Falcons this week, because of the way Kirk Cousins out there looking like straight doo-doo, and I think the Raiders is gonna beat the Falcons this week, brother. That's my upset pick. Who you got?
Okay. You're entitled. You know what my upset pick is?
I don't.
I got the Dolphins beating the Texans.
Oh wow! I thought about that too. I
got the Dolphins beat the Texans. Ain't been looking too shabby out here, my brother. Ain't been looking too shabby. And that Dolphins offense is starting to roll again.
Yeah,
it's Tua and Tyreek. They starting to roll. The defense is playing better. And don't get me wrong, Jalen Ramsey got but. Do you see that route that guy put on? It hit the ground.
Yeah, out here looking like burnt toast out here.
A bad jaw. But the defense is definitely playing a lot better. Then you got so that's the thing. Nico be getting off on dudes because he's a bigger, stronger receiver. But then you got Jalen on here. He's going to try to clamp him up. So now who you going to rely on? He's taking away your number 1 guy. So I definitely got.
See if that CJ Stroud from last year can come back after this bye week. See how he plays. I want to see how he plays. Because if he don't play well, this last 4 games,
that's what
the Texans gonna be one and done. They about to be up out of here in the playoffs.
Yep, definitely in trouble.
Well, listen up, everybody. That does it this week on Real Talk Football. We appreciate y'all for joining us on YouTube. Appreciate y'all, all my little homies that gathered and watched us on Instagram. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all for keep listening on Spotify and YouTube. Once again, we are out of here. Episode 26. We will be back next week for episode 27. We love y'all. Enjoy the games the rest of this game tonight. Rams just tied it up 3-3 and enjoy the games this weekend. Once again, like my boy Marty Moss says, see you when I see you. Peace.